Hello everyone and welcome to the video. You are live with Endeavor Gaming, and today we have a brand new lockbox ship that will be hitting the Infinity Lockbox next week, so let's just go on ahead and take a look at it. So, here from Star Trek Picard Season 2, we have the very much heavily fan-requested Excelsior II ship. This will be hitting the Infinity Lockbox next Tuesday on PC, so let's just go on ahead and take a look at it, starting with the bio. The form evolves as the mission grows, but the core cruiser design of Starfleet has stood the test of time. Alternate time, backwards time, anomalous time, and everything in between. Get good systems and a great crew, protect them as much as science allows, and allow them the flexibility to see the mission completed through all the bizarre exigencies they don't teach in textbooks. The Excelsior II is maneuverable and formidable, able to place itself where it needs to be without fear and render aid or unleash hell as the captain decides. I'm personally really excited for this ship, and I've already been able to take a look at the stats here, talked about it with a couple of people over on the Discord. If you're not already a part of that, by the way, the link will be below. But let's take a look at the brand new Excelsior II Intel Heavy Cruiser. Starting with the ship details, most of this is pretty bog standard. It's a tier 6 ship, have to complete the tutorial, but just off the bat, it gets interesting. The hull modifier and shield modifier are about where you would expect them to be for a heavy cruiser. 4 foreweapons, 4 aft weapons, which means this thing is going to excel as a broadsider. You know, tanking this ship definitely screams out to me that Intel isn't great for it, but at least it's got Miracle Worker secondary, which takes me right to the seating. We have a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, a Commander Engineering / Intel, which is great because engineering abilities are notoriously not as good as others, but you've got that intel to sort of fill in the gaps. You have a Lieutenant Commander Science / Miracle Worker, and then a Lieutenant Commander Universal. That Universal seat, chef's kiss, I love it. Its base turn rate and impulse modifier are actually a little bit higher than the legendary Excelsior that we already have in game, which is pretty cool to me. I'm glad to see that this thing is going to turn just a little bit better. So, because it's an Intel ship, it has active sensor arrays, and it'll also have the Starship Mastery package of a heavy cruiser, which I believe is the same as cruiser. So, hull plating, rapid repairs, enhanced hull plating, armored hull, and then a brand new ship trait that we will get to later. Its Admiralty stats are about what you would expect. 69 for engineering, nice. 20 for science, and 37 for tactical. So, getting into the really interesting stuff about this ship. First, the console, experimental power redirection. Activating this console grants the ship an unpredictable mix of fire at will 3 and beam overload 3, a large bonus to energy weapon damage based on the sum of shield, engine, and auxiliary power, and a suite of overloaded phaser attacks which strike out all nearby foes. The energy released by their power sources accumulates in the exposed phaser banks, increasing the rate at which these additional attacks occur. This experimental system pushes tremendous amounts of power through the ship's beam arrays to create a truly spectacular cacophony of weapons fire. Auxiliary phaser banks channel the excess power to avoid overheating issues, though they are only rated for burst use and cannot be employed like traditional phaser arrays. The power drain involved is immense, and while R&D maintains hope that it may be stabilized for more consistent use, the system has found a niche on the battlefield as a contingency weapon. The console will also apply bonuses to energy weapon damage and starship weapon amplification. So, the tooltip to sell for a moderate duration, which I'm assuming is somewhere between 10 to 20 seconds, maybe shoot in the middle for that 15, we'll have to wait and see. X% energy weapon damage, scales with engine shield and aux subsystem power. Unfortunately, the way this seems, it's going to be Cat 1 and not bonus, but again, gonna have to wait and see. And then it will swap randomly between beam fire at will and beam overload 3. So the guess here is that when this activates, when you activate this console, it will just lock out all of your other energy weapon firing modes for the duration of the console, and then you'll be able to use them again. We're hoping it doesn't go the way of, putting them on some kind of cooldown, but again, we'll have to wait once we get our hands on that console. I'm planning on picking it up day 1 to see how it does. And then for each second, applies auxiliary phaser beam array overload at will 3 to random target times 4, dealing phaser damage to each. Kills increase the number up to 14 times. So this is going to be a lot of fun. It's basically like a zero elevation phaser burst all around, and it'll just hit everything. I'm so excited to use that. For the trait, we have activating beam fire at will or any intel burst huster ability, improving both beam damage and all damage resistance rating in the side arcs. I see this as being moderately useful in a tank. I don't think it's going to outperform any of the conventional taking traits now, but it might be some fun to use. I'll definitely be trying it out on my Kelvin Connie, maybe my Legendary Odyssey, but time will tell. So that's about everything on this ship that we know so far. Overall, it looks pretty solid. Like, I'm excited for the ship. I thought it looked great in Picard. I think it looks great in game from what we've seen. That console sounds like it could potentially be really interesting, and I am very excited to mess around with it. What do you guys think of the ship? Let me know in the comments below or reach out over on the Discord to find out more information as it arrives. As always, you have been live with Endeavor Gaming, and remember to keep calm and game on.